Okay.
Okay. All right. We got to record it. All right. So tell me what's happening.
Okay. Here's the whole story.
Good.
I'll start from the very beginning.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s, I started to have a little pain where the right groin is.
Yeah.
Sort of felt like at that point, I didn't know anything about anything, and I thought it might have been like a hernia. So I went to the doctor, of course. A couple years later, and at this point in my life, I was playing a lot of basketball, very, very hard basketball.
Okay.
A couple years later, I probably was favoring that side, my right side, and tore my left Achilles.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. 2 years after I tore my left Achilles, I got a hip transplant on the right side because I couldn't sleep. Every time my leg would come over, would wake me up with horrible pain. So I went for a hip replacement. After the hip replacement, I actually went to your place along with other things in Farmingdale. And the guy, and at that time, I think you were starting to set up an operation in Boca. And the guy who ran your place was great. I forget his name, but he was
Eric, yeah.
Eric, yeah. And what he would do is he'd, give me the exercises to do. And then he would end it with a sort of a leg stretching. And also he would work that the psoas, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Which was excruciating.
Yeah.
But it was starting to help. And in this country, like everything else, when you start to get some help, your insurance runs out.
Right.
And so you guys were good enough to get an extension, but only a short number of visits. And then that ran out. And I never, since I tore the Achilles, I never was able to run with any sort of normal gait. And I went to many different kinds of therapies, many different philosophies, many different theories. And sometimes and the reason I went to you was because that IT band was killing me. It would come and go, but when it came, it was basically very painful.
And that's on the right-hand side.
That's on the hip replacement side.
Yes. Right.
And so through the years, I had the hip replacement in 2005. So this is a lot of years later. So when I would feel something happening either in the quad, because what you guys did was, in fact, you came in one time in between going to Florida and coming back to Farmingdale, and you said to Eric, you said, what this guy really needs for this to really help is you have to break up the scar tissue where the incision was made.
Right.
And so he started to break up the scar tissue and also work that muscle. And then the insurance ran out. So through the years, I've never played ball again. I played softball, but I got a pinch runner. I never was able to really run again, which was very depressing to a guy that grew up playing ball his whole life.
Terrible.
Yeah. So it was a life changer, that Achilles. I never got it operated on. The doctor, God, I saw the Yankee doctor, this guy, Stuart Hirschon.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and
I know.
Yeah, he was, at that time, he had stopped doing operations anyway. He was more impressive showing me his World Series ring than doing anything really.
A wonderful person, amazing person. What a great person.
Yeah, great guy. Had pictures all over. Great.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. So he said, listen, he said, you're 60 years old. I would advise you stop playing basketball, because if you're not back for a re-rupture of the Achilles, you'll be back for something else. So I'm claustrophobic, and I didn't realize that the cast, whether I got surgery well, I didn't get surgery, would be on for 10 weeks. So looking back, I would have gotten the surgery, and the rehab after that, both the Achilles and after the hip was minimal.
Mhm.
There again, after the hip replacement, guy came to my house. He said, wow, he says, I've never seen anyone recover so quickly. He gave me a few exercises to do. I did them. I said, could you come back one more time? We had coffee and bagels, and that was it. That was it.
And where was the resistance in those two exercises?
That he gave me,
Yeah.
it was basically movement exercises that he could sign off to and say, yeah, this guy's okay,
Well, if you wanted to get stronger, and I'm assuming you wanted to get stronger, how was a muscle going to magically get stronger if it's not forced to adapt to a greater resistance?
Exactly right. He was interested in just signing off because he
Just a
was
schmuck,
required.
just another part of the system.
Yeah,
Just another part of the system.
yeah, it's so insane.
The system's fucking corrupt, man. It's straight out corrupt. And what no one's recognizing is that it's a fee-for-service basis. So if you go to a restaurant, 4-star restaurant, and you come back and your steak is charred, you don't pay for that.
Right.
If you go to the mechanic and he said he fixed the car and the car doesn't turn on, you don't pay for that. If you get a 5-level fusion in the lumbar spine for $300,000 and you're in more pain than before, that dude gets paid.
Right.
So then why does he care? Where's the outcome-based concept? He actually would prefer you never get better. He does better when you don't get better.
Right. And in fact, what turned me on to you was you had your thing, I think it was on PBS.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, this guy, I don't like any system. I like out of the box, because what you said made sense to me. And every time I would go into your place, you had strength equals mobility, and I remember that because that's basically what it's all about, and I totally agree with you. And I've been through balance. I've been to a couple places that had their own shtick, which was good for what I needed at the time. But now I'm at the point where every time my leg would start to irritate me a little, I would take a couple naproxen and it would go away. This last time I did a couple stupid things. One of the stupid things I did was being an anal retentive idiot. I saw something in the backyard and my leg was irritated at that time. The wind blew it down. I said, it doesn't make sense to pick it up. And I started to walk away, went to pick it up, slipped, landed on my knee, but it was on dirt. It didn't cause anything, probably irritated a little more. And then that next week, I have a friend, I took up golf, not something I like, but that guy hadn't played in a while and I couldn't say no to him. So I went out and I played, and us male schmucks, we make believe we're not in pain. Right. And I played 18 holes and irritated it more. And then I had a backyard barbecue and the same thing. And at that point, I had one leg that was inflamed throughout. I could barely, if I stumbled, I was in fear of falling. And so I went to a basic physical therapy. Then I went to medical massage, myofascial release massage. And then I went to acupuncturist. And I've had acupuncture before, never really helped me. I'm not a believer in it, but she did help me. She was able to kick out the inflammation of the leg, but still the initial problem is there. And I don't think acupuncture is going to do that. And at this point, I feel the only thing that's going to do that is strength equals mobility. And I have to build up my legs. I'm no spring chicken anymore. And I don't want to be that guy that's, behind the crowd.
Yeah.
And so I just want to build up leg strength because right now I could do things, but towards after a few hours, it weakens and I have to lead with my left leg to go upstairs. I don't have the confidence in my right leg. And the pain changes each day from where that psoas thing is to the quadricep top, bottom, side IT band. So that's basically
Yeah.
my history.
So let me just first off, don't think yourself as a schmuck because you went and did that stuff. You're just a guy who was pissed off that you've just been through all this shit, you've tried all these people, and you're still in the situation you find yourself. And God forbid I shouldn't try and just do something because it's something I desperately want to do or have to do. That's not your fault. Everyone has to start understanding. You should be angry as shit with a system that left you like this. That's who you should be, not yourself, not your fault. It's them. It's them.
Right.
That's who you should be angry at. Don't blame yourself. You're just trying to survive. You want to play golf. You want to play golf. What? That's such a crime. That's such a crime that someone should want to play golf with his friends. The crime is that you've never been conditioned in a way that allows you to play golf. That's the crime. So that's my point to everybody. First of all, stop thinking it's relating to you. They suck. They suck. The system's broken. You're basically a statistic of a failed system. So we'll end that right now. We'll get you to what you need. Here's what you got to understand about this torn meniscus thing and all this other shit. To some degree, I guarantee you, you say you do stuff and you try to do stuff, and obviously you're trying. I would strongly suspect that when I go and check you, you might try to stand, you might try to walk, you might try to do lots of things, but you're not doing them properly with all the appropriate muscles being used in the way they should. So you're compensating. And compensating, by definition, the word compensation implies muscles are being worked in a way that they shouldn't. Therefore, the loads that are being applied to them are loads they weren't designed to take. That's why muscles strain. So my suspicion is the reason you tore your Achilles tendon on the left is that you have some weakness on the right. And as a result, instead of fully weight bearing and supporting yourself on the right, being balanced, having your pelvis level, which means you are completely balanced. And if I said take 10 minutes to place your left foot in front of you, you'd be able to. You didn't have that. So what you were doing was you were standing on your right leg and falling onto your left leg. That excess falling load is now a load that you're suddenly, once you go to toe off with the left foot to initiate you moving forward, there's a load sitting there that calf wasn't designed to take. So as a result, it was a load that was greater. Now, the muscle can strain, but the muscle is connected via the tendon to the heel, which is the mechanism by which you toe off. So in your particular case, that load just was absorbed in the tendon, and that's what tore it. So for anyone to say that you need an Achilles tendon surgery, unless it's fully ruptured, is bullshit. That's just a freaking lie. Because the reality is, there's nothing prior to that. There was nothing structurally wrong with the tendon. You were simply applying a load that it wasn't designed to absorb. End of story. So what if I now took the load away? What if I took that load away? Now what if I strengthened the shit out of your right side so much that if I said, I want you to take 20 minutes to put your left foot in front of you, you'd be like, piece of cake, no problem, right? If that were the case, then you would have the appropriate load. Once you were moving your right foot forward, you would now have the appropriate ability, the proper load on the left foot, so that when you go to toe off and move your left foot forward, you'd have no problem. And the calf mechanism, the Achilles mechanism, it would all be, and you wouldn't have a problem. So stop looking at the Achilles tendon. The Achilles tendon is the resultant of a force deficit, which was created on the right side. If we fix the right side, I honestly see no reason why you shouldn't be able to jog or run or anything. It's just foolish. It's just foolish nonsense to say these things.
There's one other thing that comes into play with this.
Yeah, go ahead.
A number of years ago, I was diagnosed with neuropathy of the feet.
Yeah.
Non-diabetic neuropathy.
Non-diabetic neuropathy. The magical new neuropathy.
right, the 18 to 20 million people have the magical new neuropathy.
Yeah.
So I was diagnosed with that. My feet are very weird. They're a little better now, but originally my feet, basically, I could not walk on a flat surface without feeling like I was walking on pebbles.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so, because of that, I haven't been able to walk barefoot.
Right.
So there was a woman based out in California. I forget her name. Just to show you, she opened up a place in Port Washington.
Mhm.
And her theory, which made sense to me, was that if your feet are not doing what they're supposed to do, if the muscles in your feet are not doing what they're supposed to do, then your body is compensating all the way up from your feet. So it made sense to me because I was favoring my feet because of the neuropathy. My feet and toes weren't spread normally anymore. It was almost like looking at the back feet of a bunny. So I went.
Meaning they're right next to each other, you said?
You're talking the toes?
No, what were you saying about what's together in terms of your feet? Your
If you
toes are
looked at
together?
my feet, instead of my feet being a normal, my toes being like a normal,
Yeah.
they had drawn in like this.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Because I didn't know what my feet were doing,
Yeah.
because the neuropathy
Yeah.
basically is short circuiting, and
Yeah.
so my balance was all off. So I went to this woman, and they basically worked on balance, and they made me do everything without shoes on,
Uh-huh.
and it helped.
Uh-huh.
But there again, you get to a point where you can't afford it.
Well, what if you could have afforded it forever? Is there ever an endpoint where it actually works, you're done, and you're back to being 100% normal? Does that ever come? Or do you just keep working on it forever and ever as long as they take your insurance?
Well, they didn't take the insurance.
Well,
either.
whatever. As long as you keep paying them, if they don't say this is the endpoint, this is your problem, I'm going to resolve this problem, thereby allowing you to be normal again. If no one says that, is it okay that you just keep working on the problem forever and ever and ever and ever? Clearly, that's not the case. So let's discuss this so I can give you some sense of freaking sanity. The word neuropathy breaks down to nerve and pathology. A pathology of a nerve, implying there's some structural degradation of a nerve. Would you agree that's what neuropathy means?
Right.
I don't give a shit where your symptom is. What is the physical presentation that somebody showed you of a degenerative, a degradation of a nerve? Show me a picture, how did they figure that out? It's just said. Would you acknowledge that's true? They just said you have neuropathy.
Exactly. I went to a neurologist.
And he said you had neuropathy.
My legs. They turned up current. I felt like Frankenstein.
Right. So you were just told you had neuropathy. And it was the magical neuropathy because you don't even have diabetes. Right. So you're complaining of a symptom under your foot. Your foot feels like you're walking on pebbles.
Yeah.
I will bet you a gazillion dollars right now that both your feet are completely flat. You have no arch in your foot.
And I got good arch.
I'll bet you if I say single leg stand, your foot collapses in completely. I'll bet you a gazillion dollars that's your case. You think I haven't heard this before? You think I haven't heard this story? The answer is that your foot is designed to absorb force through the first through the fifth metatarsal heads, all 5 balls of your feet. When you have a weak glute med, your foot, instead of weight bearing through the full width of the foot, is now going to weight bear on the inside of the foot. That stresses the muscles that support the arch. They break down, you lose your arch. So right now, where this part, where that arch was, that wasn't supposed to touch the floor. Who said that was supposed to touch the floor? That's the arch.
No,
Well,
that's
now
not,
it's touching the floor. You're
that's not,
compressing tissue that wasn't supposed to touch the floor. Well, if you compress tissue, shit, man, you want to just sit on your ass on the floor for about 10 to say 20 minutes to a half hour? I'll bet your ass goes numb.
right.
Do you have neuropathy? You have neuropathy? You have a structural pathology, some variation? No, you're just compressing your ass. The microcirculation, the micro nerves in your ass. You got to see shit for what it, listen, I'm not blaming you. I don't ever blame anybody. This is a piece of shit system. Anyone can say the word neuropathy. Say it to me. I stand in the room with you, and the lady says he has neuropathy. I say, really? Really? Show me. Show me what that means. You're telling me he has a pathology of nerve. By what presentation of his body have you come to that conclusion? I want to know that. For you to be right, you better be able to prove it. And the answer is it's made up dog shit. The reason you have a problem on the underside of your foot feeling, because you're not weight bearing on your foot properly. Not because there's necessarily something specifically wrong with the foot, but you got to weight bear from the hips, and then you got to have your hip, your ankle, and your knee directly under one another. And then you have to have proper support of your foot so you weight bear through all 5 balls of your feet, and then you won't have neuropathy anymore. You won't have a symptom anymore. You'll notice everything I say, you're going to show me it's exactly what I say. I don't care what you think. I've done this so many times. I know what I'm going to find. You are going to present to me that every time you try to stand on your foot, your ankle is going to be completely collapsing in. I guarantee on the right side, you have no balance.
Yeah, I have.
And when we say balance, let me explain something to you. Anyone who talks about balance or says that they treat balance is an asshole. Because it doesn't mean anything. I treat air. I treat sky. What does that mean? It's just a word. What is balance? Balance is comprised of 2 components. There is the sense of where you are in space, which comes from your semicircular canals in your ears, and the cerebellum. So they're trying to figure out where you are in space. Now, if it turns out that your body weight is outside your base of support, you're going to get a sense that you're not where you should be. Now, the brain sends afferent or efferent signals to your muscles to contract, to pull you back so that your body weight is inside your base of support and you are balanced. So no one treats balance. You either treat the neurological component or the muscular component. Well, how would we know if you have a neurological component? This is quite easy. Just sit up in the chair you're sitting, sit without your back supported, and tell me if you can sit.
Yeah, I have no
Oh
problem.
my God, you can sit. So are you implying that your brain knows where you are in space?
Yeah.
Clearly you know where it is. So then don't tell me you have a neurological component to balance. You have a muscular deficit. You don't have a balance deficit. You have a weakness deficit. That's your problem. I am a logician. I am self-taught. I analyze every bit of it. You say something to me, you better understand it's about to go through a logical lens. It is fact or it's bullshit. Most of what you and everybody else is being told is pure bullshit because there's not even a basis for the statement, but you're not in a position to know that. I am. I will crush anybody who says something stupid. Don't tell me someone has neuropathy. Don't tell me someone has a balance deficit. Those are words. Don't tell me you're treating them for whiplash. What does that even mean you're treating them for? Whiplash is a mechanism. What tissue are you treating? How are you fixing them if you don't know what tissue's in distress that you're supposed to be fixing? How do you know any? Nobody knows this shit. And that's why people stay in pain for the rest of their lives. Not because of them. They're the nice, everybody, you're no different than the freaking 130 million Americans and 1 billion people suffering from chronic pain. You're all in the same boat. You're in a failed system. You're in a system that has no intention of helping you. They have no reason to want to help you. End of story. End of story. The number of people suffering from chronic pain has never gone down. 40 years, never gone down. The intensity of pain, never gone down. Length of time people are in pain, never gone down. Number of people who take opiates, never gone down. Number of people depressed, never gone down. Number of people suicidal, never gone down. Number of people getting surgery, never goes down. It is evidence something is innately wrong. It is systemic. There is something wrong within the system. And the answer basically, primarily, goes from you're using wrong diagnostic measures, such as the MRI, that should never be used. That's baseless. That uses correlative theory, which is so sick. All it's saying is that, oh, you found some arthritis while you have pain? Okay, it's the cause of your pain. Well, would the X-ray or MRI show you have two elbows? You have two elbows, don't you? Okay, two elbows is the cause of your pain. I'll say that. How is that different? Tell me how it's different. Same exact theoretical basis. That's how sick this is. Globally. This is the world we live in. Right? I am a psychopath. I went to medical school, and inside of a week or two, I was like, this is bullshit. This is clearly baseless. And I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to continue to expand my awareness, and I'm going to treat people as I develop theory based on application. And that's how I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And now I'm almost 30 years into this. I defy anyone to come against me. You are going to look bad, really bad. So let me show you this. I want you to understand this. And because this is the basis, really, of your entire problem. All right. So this is your pelvis, right? This is your right leg. This is your left leg. If you understand this, you're going to understand everything there is to know about your situation. And you'll know exactly what you're going to need to fix it. So if I was to take this leg off the floor, the left leg, how many points of contact do I have to the ground? One. Because this is no longer on the ground. I lifted this leg off the ground.
It froze up. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Hang on. Let it clear a second. Hold on. It froze. Hang on. It should break. That froze. If it doesn't come back, recording. Yep. You still there?
Okay.
Yes.
Uh,
Hello? Oh, the sound went off. Let me go
What?
over there.
what?
The sound went off, right?
Yeah, I can't. Can you hear me? Okay, we have to get the sound back.
All right, let me do this. Did you explain to him that this happens? Did you? Did you explain it to him? Or no? Did Alan explain to you what happens? Okay, I will. We have a crazy problem with this, the internal mechanism of our Zoom. Usually it's the camera and not the sound. Now it's the sound and not the camera. So there probably is nothing we could do unless you restart.
Wait, let me go through that setting thing again.
Hold on.
I was muted.
We can hear you. Oh, you were muted?
Somehow it just, yeah, I just noticed.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
so it was your end.
Yeah, somehow the camera, the entire Zoom went off and restarted. And for some reason, when it restarted, I was muted.
Aliens.
Okay.
Yeah,
Aliens.
it's all wacky. That's never actually happened before, which is great.
Okay.
Anyway, so let's go through this premise. So like I said, if you take your left foot off the floor, you only have one foot on the floor, right?
Right.
So you would expect your body to fall to the right side, or to the left side, right? Because your entire center of mass is to the left of your right leg,
Right.
right? That makes sense. Okay, look at this muscle right here. This is the gluteus medius muscle. It attaches from the pelvis to the hip joint, right? And basically, it grabs the pelvis and it pulls it down towards the hip joint when you're standing on it. So it takes the pelvis and pulls the right side down, causing the left side to rise, right? It's an eccentric load. Well, if I can create enough downward force on the right, enough to make my pelvis be level, I have balance.
Right,
even with this foot off the floor.
right,
Right? So that's how the gluteus medius works. When you're standing on the right foot, you take your left foot off the walk. This has to remain level, and the only way it does it is that the glute med contracts and pulls down. Okay? So
Right.
I'm gonna guess that now if that hasn't happened, then we should have uneven pelvic heights, and I think we're probably gonna find that.
Yeah, I think we will find that.
Okay. And then we're gonna just try something where we're gonna do a single leg stand. Now we see it the other way. Now we're taking the foot off, and I'm gonna ask you to bend this knee. So if you were to bend this knee now, what we want to see is now the muscle be stable on this side and moving on this side. It's going to grab the hip joint and it's going to pull it up and in towards this. So it's creating this kind of motion. So that would create a force that should keep your knee under your hip. But if it's weak, the knee is going to cave in. So that's the other indication of a weak glute med. And that's what so if this is, like I said, if this were weak and your pelvis would fall that way, what would happen? You'd have to put your left foot down.
Right.
To catch yourself from falling. Remember, that's a load. That falling to the left was not designed in evolution, right? You're supposed to be balanced when you take that foot off. So you put it down, and then when you go to push off the left foot and move the right foot forward, it's just 50% of your load, right? But if you're falling to that side, that could be 70 or 80% of your load. So that when you go to push off the left toes, there was a load there it wasn't designed to take, and that's why you probably tore it.
Yeah, in fact, I feel exactly what you say just now, because I feel that I'm falling to the right side, which is causing me pain, even though I want to avoid that.
Yes.
It seems that that's what happened, exactly what's happened.
Right. So here's the concept. So here's what your body, your brain has figured out. So this is so weak, it's figured out. You can't take this left foot off without falling to the left. So what it's doing, it's saying move your shoulder and your head to the right. So some of your center of mass is on this side of your hip joint. If it's on this side of the hip joint, the glute med doesn't have to support it. So you're doing a waddle to the right, because your right glute med can't support you.
Right.
Right? All right, let's look at some stuff now. Stand up.
What part you want to?
So put the camera down so I move farther away from the camera so I can see your waist. Drop the camera down so I can see you. Your waist.
Oh, my waist. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Good. There you go. Put your hands on those pelvic rims, like what you would call your hips. Okay, raise the camera up a little bit more so I can see it. There you go. Okay, right there, right there. That's fine. So it looks like your right hand is higher than your left. Definitely. Your right hand is much higher than your left. Raise your shirt up. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Holy shit. It's way up there. Your right hip. Oh my God. No, sure. No question. Okay. Now stand on your left foot. Can you? Good job. Okay. Stand on your right foot. That's much harder to do.
I feel the compensation, yeah, because it seems that the weight is coming to the outside.
So you feel like when you stand on your right foot, you have to side bend to the right a little bit to help you.
It looks like I'm able to have more stability on the left leg.
Yeah.
I feel more stable on the left.
Yeah, right. Now,
if I step on the right leg, see, now I'm stable, but it usually but I'm constantly doing the thing that you said with the head and the shoulders.
Yeah, yeah.
Stay
Let me see you
stable.
stand on your left foot now and bend your left knee like 2 or 3 times, just a little. There you go.
Yeah,
Okay, good. Now, can you do that on the right at all?
the whole leg, I could do it, but the pain is here.
Yeah, you're completely falling to the left. Every
Yeah.
time you try to do that, you're completely fall. You have no ability to keep your pelvis level. You're just collapsing to the left.
Right.
You can see
Exactly
it.
right.
Now, that pain you're having in the groin is a muscle called the sartorius muscle. So don't worry about that. We'll take care of it. That's where your pain is in the groin area?
Not today, no.
But
The
generally.
pain when I'm doing what you say is mostly here
Yeah,
on the outside
yeah.
and also almost directly on the inside.
Yeah,
So
just
it's
your
like the
sartorius.
pain is like here.
Yeah, all right, don't worry about it. We'll take care of
Mostly-
that. Okay.
Mostly here.
Yeah. Now, let me see you hold on to something with your right hand. Can you pull your left heel towards your butt at all?
My left heel towards my butt. And hold on.
Hold on with your right hand so you're stable. Can you grab your left ankle at all and pull it towards your butt?
No, I can't get it back that
All right,
far.
stop. That's fine. Let me see you try to do that on the right. Is it easier to do on the right or not?
Let me try again.
Try it again. Yeah. I think
It seems that the right foot comes up just a drop higher than the
yeah.
left.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do that. We're going to do the glute. Okay. So we'll do the knee extension, hip abduction, hip extension. And oh, now I want to see your feet. Point the camera down to your feet. I got to see your feet now.
Bare feet?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I told you I'm going to give you $1 million if you have an arch.
I have an arch. I'm telling
you
you, I have
don't.
an arch.
Bet you
Whether
don't.
or not I'm using the arch is another thing. But I always had high arches.
Mhm.
So let's see.
Is this a laptop or a desktop?
No, this is a desktop.
Okay. Okay. Put it up. Get it high, a little higher. Right. Point it up a little higher. Good. Stop right there. Now you're in the position. Good. Let me see you turn 90 degrees to your left.
90 degrees to my left.
Good. There's not enough light there. I need to see. Okay. All right. There you go. That's what I want to see. Okay. All right. Take your right foot off the floor. Okay. Stop. Face me. It'll be easier for me to see facing me. There you go. Good. Raise your the top that pant leg up. I want to see your ankle. Good, right like that. There you go. Perfect. Now, stand on your left foot. You're just completely collapsing. You could clearly see you're collapsing. Don't you feel that as soon as you pick your right foot up, now don't hold on to anything. You're not holding on to anything. You'll see that what happens is you can see that your ankle is caving in. Just feel that you're putting more pressure on the first ball of your foot versus the fifth. And that's not even the worst one. Try the left, oh my God, I can see it right off the bat on the left, on the right side. Yeah. You're telling me right now, you think that if I looked at the side of your right foot, that you think there's an arch there right now? There's nothing. You're even getting hammer toe on your left big toe. Oh, your right big toe. You're starting to get hammer toe.
Oh, no, just when I need it, hammer toes.
No, don't you see it? Don't you see that you're
I see it turning in, yeah.
right? So why do you think that is? Because you're putting weight bearing on the first ball of the foot. You're literally forcing that over. Even having it start to happen on the left toe, I can see. You clearly are weight bearing too much on the first ball of the foot. Exactly what I'm telling you. There is no doubt about it. So we need to support the insides of your arches. And that'll take care of that. This is a cakewalk, no problem. Okay, can I see you walk? Is there any way I could see you walk a little bit, even 3 or 4 steps? But you got to raise the camera up so I can see your whole body. I want to see it like your pelvis level at least.
Okay, yeah, the
Hey,
pelvis,
right there. That's good. Well, a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. All right. Yeah, let's go with that. All right, let me see you walk. Oh my God, what a side bend to the right. Wow. You ain't kidding about it, Trendelenburg. Holy cow. All right, do it a little bit more. I want to get this on camera. Wow. Would you say if you just stood there, just the way you're standing, look down, point your nose down. Do you think that your nose is over your right foot? It sure as shit isn't between your feet, right?
I feel that my nose is between my feet.
How about when you walk? What happens?
Well, I'll tell you something. Since I was a little kid, teachers used to tell me to not lean to one side
Right,
and to look them in the eye
right,
because I was tilted
right,
even as a little kindergarten, first grader.
right.
And what I noticed, even as a little kid, was that I was able to tie my shoe
Mm-hmm.
on my left foot over. But when I went to tie my shoe on the right foot, I would have to bring my leg out so the tie would be more on the inside
Yeah.
of the sneaker.
Right.
So even as a little kid, there was something that wasn't balanced in this area.
Right.
And so now I'm 78 years old and the compensation has come home to roost.
Yeah. Well, the good news is it's easy to fix.
Okay, good.
This is a cakewalk. You got no problems here. This is easy. This is
Okay,
straightforward shit. No problem whatsoever.
Of course, I'm all in.
Yeah, I'm going to have you do these exercises 4 weeks. You get back with me. We follow this up 2-3 months. This should be done. And
Okay.
then we'll see. Can you jog? We'll see.
If you can make me jog, I am flying out to St. Augustine and taking you out to the finest place that you could ever.
I'll take that challenge.
It's not a challenge, it's a promise on my part.
Okay. All right.
I actually have a very good friend out in St. Augustine also.
What's that?
I actually have a very good friend out in St. Augustine.
Oh, that's
also.
awesome. St. Augustine's a fun place. All right, so you got a resistance band?
I'll show you what I have. I don't have the bands. I didn't get a chance, but I have the resistance, these things. And I also have a thing that goes in between the door to keep it from springing.
Yeah, the door anchor. You have loops. Okay.
Yeah, but I also
I'm
have.
gonna show you how to do this, and then we're gonna see if we can figure out.
I also have a couple of these things, which are basically.
Well, we got to figure out how you're gonna create your resistance. So let me just show you how to do the exercise first.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take this. And by the way, that neuropathy, that'll be gone too.
Oh God, I'm flying out every year. I'll fly out to St. Augustine.
All right, that sounds good. Here we go. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna put this in the door. I'm gonna create a loop. I'm gonna put both feet in. So it's gonna be off to the side. I'm just showing you from the side. You're gonna come straight out. What we're gonna do is I'll be holding on to the chair. I got all my weight on the left foot, but I'm also supporting myself by holding on to the chair. I
Okay.
point my toes, my right toes in, so they're facing 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock on a clock. They start with my feet together. Now I'm gonna take my right foot, I'm gonna move it out until the outer portion of the ankles in line with the outer portion of my hip. I'm not coming out very far. I'm just coming out enough so that my leg is vertical to the ground. Then I put my foot down. Now I shift my weight. I'm moving my pelvis until my nose is over my right foot. Then I'm coming back. So I'm going out, putting my foot down, shifting my pelvis until my nose is over my right foot, coming back. Out, down, over, back. Out, down, over, back. Out, down, over, back. Out, down, over, back. And if you're doing it right, you're gonna feel it right here, right on the side of your pelvis. That's your glute med. That's that muscle I showed you. That's
Right.
what you gotta strengthen.
And
Okay.
that's on the right side.
Only on the right side. You want
Only
not
on
to
the
do
right.
left side. Everything we're gonna do is just the right side for now.
Okay.
I got 4 exercises you gotta do.
Okay. Let me see if I could,
Let's see if you can figure out how to connect that.
okay, I figured out how to connect it.
All right, let me see what you got.
Let me see, and you're saying put both feet in.
Both feet are in.
Okay, it's a little, I'll get those straps, but both feet are in. Okay,
Point the camera down so I can see your feet.
okay,
Can you reach it?
I'll make it.
There you go. There you go. That's perfect. Okay.
Okay, so
So you
it's,
turn your right foot to 11 o'clock and your feet are together. Now you're just going to move your right foot out so it's under your hip. It's a small distance. Then you're going to put your right foot down. Good. Now you put it down. Now you're going to shift your weight so your nose is over your right foot. You're moving your pelvis over.
oh, okay,
And
but
then you
not,
just move your right foot back to your left foot and start over.
okay, should I give myself more tension by moving away, or
It
at
depends
this
how
point,
hard does that feel.
just get the feeling?
Well, you want to get a little bit of tension on it because you want to feel that the only way you're going to know you're working the glute med is if there's a little tension on it.
Okay, and don't hold on to anything, right?
Yeah, you got to hold on to a chair or something. Remember I said
Okay, I got to
you
do
need to
enough.
have stability.
Okay, out,
Down, shift over, and then go back. Slowly.
yeah, okay,
Don't jerk it. Just move it out until the outer portion of the ankle is in line with the outer portion of the hip. That's as far as you're going. And then shift over and then go back. Mhm. That looks good.
and when I shift over to put my nose over my right
Right
foot,
foot, that's as far as you got to go, and then go back.
right, so I'm shifting my whole pelvis that way,
Correct.
like,
That's right. You're not side bending, you're shifting your pelvis.
right, okay,
Keep your knees straight.
okay,
You got to be pulling from the hip joint. When you're bringing that right foot over, you're pulling from the hip joint. That's how you move your foot over.
okay, I'm pulling from the hip joint.
That's it. And just don't jerk it. Just do 10. I think that's about 7.
And when I go back to the left, do I find that middle position again? With my head?
Yeah, you're gonna be back with your bed in the middle position, but you're gonna have to have your nose over your left foot so that you can move your right foot, or else you wouldn't be able to move it.
Oh, well, okay, so look at my left foot when I'm coming back in.
That's right. That's
Okay.
the start position, is all the weight's on the left foot. That's the only way you can move the right foot.
Oh, okay, so all I got you.
Just do one more. Good. Okay, take your feet out and relax. Can you feel that working on the side of the pelvis on the right at all?
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it over here. But I'm gonna have to extend further from the door because I
We'll
want
do
to
that
feel
on
a
the
little
next
more
set.
tension. Yeah, this yellow band is the
That's all right.
least.
You'll do it on the next
resistant.
set. Point to, show me on the camera where you were feeling it. Turn the camera so I can see it. Where were you feeling it? Yeah, that's fine. Right, exactly. Perfect. Okay, so now on this next set, you're just gonna move away from the door about 2 inches more, that's all.
Okay, and do the same exact
We're gonna
thing
do the
with
same exact
with
thing, but
more resistance.
you're gonna wait a minute in between every set when you're doing your exercise.
Oh, okay, okay,
Gotta wait a minute because lactic acid has to get out of the muscle, and
Right.
lactic acid cannot get out until you're resting.
okay. Let's get rid of
Yeah,
this.
that's even better now. That's perfect.
Okay,
So can you see that when you're doing the exercise correctly, you're isolating the very muscle responsible for all your problems.
right, and today, that's the very muscle that is giving me the most problems.
Right. Well, it's the one that's been responsible the whole time. Okay, make sure you're holding on to something. You can't be balancing.
Okay, let me,
Be holding on to something, a chair or something.
yeah, I got the doorknob here.
You need at least 3 points of contact, 2 hands and your left foot.
Okay,
Yeah. Turn your right foot in. It's pointing at 1 o'clock, not 11 o'clock. Good.
oh, okay,
Yep.
okay.
Now shift over.
And the left foot should be 12
That's
o'clock?
pointing straight forward. Yep.
Okay,
Lead with your heel. Good. That's good control. That looks like a good rep right there.
okay. And then shift,
Shift your pelvis so your nose is over your right foot, then go back.
okay, so the pelvis shift,
Yep. Good control. Good. Still, your toes aren't pointed to 11 o'clock, but it's okay.
Okay.
There you go.
okay,
You need to accentuate everything I tell you because that's how you maximize the use of that glute med. I want to get you done as fast as you can. That means you get to use your muscles. If you isolate your muscles optimally, you'll get to where you need to get the fastest. That's 4. That was a good one right there. Good. That's 6. 4 more. 7. Don't jerk. Slow it. Control it. 8. 9. Nice. Down. That's 10. Now rest. How did that feel? Did you feel it a little more intensely on the right side of the pelvis?
yeah, I pulled it, to give me some more, tension on this band that I happen to be using.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
the other
what
band,
what you're looking for is an exertion level of 8 out of 10, which would mean if I said, could you do an 11th or 12th, you'd say probably, but that would be a little bit hard. That's the right resistance to work with. Then you figure out exactly where you are and exactly how much resistance you have. You stay there until it becomes an exertion level of 5, which means if I said, could you do 15 or 16, you say yes. So that means your muscle has adapted to a set resistance, which means it's gotten stronger. And so now we want to increase the resistance back up to an 8. So now you're going to move away from the door 2 inches more. That's going to take your exertion level from a 5 back up to an 8. You'll only be able to do 11 or 12. You're going to stay there until you can do 15 or 16. You went from an 8 to a 5. You're going to move away from the door 2 more inches again. That's going to bring your exertion level up to an exertion level of 8. You're going to stay there until it goes down to an exertion level of 5, indicating your muscle got stronger. That's how you progress your resistance. Okay. Now, eventually, the band will get so taut you won't be able to progress it with that. So you go to a thicker band at some point.
oh, okay. So basically, each time I do a 10 rep, come like approximately 2 inches further away from the door.
That's only, not every time you do a set. You're going to do 3 sets of 10 repetitions, and any one bout, it's going to feel like an exertion level of 8 because you couldn't have gotten stronger by doing the set or not. So over 2 or 3 episodes of doing this, like let's say you start on a Monday and you have this exertion level of 8, it might be by the following Monday when you try to do that same exact position where you just were a week ago, it might feel like an exertion level of 5 because those 3 times caused the muscle to grow.
Right.
So at that point, that's when you want to step 2 inches out.
Oh, I got you. I got you. So
Now,
find
it might take another week or 2 weeks before you could go down to an exertion level of 5. Then you're going to go out. So it might take a week or 2 weeks for you to go from an exertion level of 8 to an exertion level of 5. But if you stay with those parameters, you're always going to be working the right amount of resistance to get your results in the shortest period of time.
I got you.
Okay. And don't forget, this is being video recorded. You don't have to memorize this stuff. I'm going to send you this video tomorrow. It's going to come in an email from WeTransfer. You're going to download the link onto your hard drive, and you're going to watch it 20 times, 30 times. Listen to everything I'm telling you. Don't just do it for the exercises. Learn what the hell I'm teaching you about what's causing your pain. Why do you have your problem? What does a glute med look like? What does it do? Why do you see the compensations? Why do you have the supposed neuropathy or the awful sensation in your feet? It's all, you need to understand all this stuff along with learning how to do the exercise. When you go to do the bouts of exercise going forward, you're going to watch yourself in the video and you're going to do it along with yourself.
Right.
So that means you should be doing it exactly accurately. Now, in 4 weeks, we'll have another session and I'm going to check in on you and see what you're doing.
Sounds good.
And that's how we progress this and make sure everything's going. Within a couple of months, 2-3 months, you should be substantially better. I mean, substantially. Major reduction in symptoms, major improvement in function.
But could I dunk?
Well, that might take a little bit longer. Maybe just a little.
Maybe another lifetime.
You see what I guess I try to get across to people is you've been dealing with this shit for years because no one has identified the very specific muscles that were limiting you, creating your symptom and diminishing your function. I've identified that. Right. So now we just beat the living shit out of those muscles. How could you not see a massive reduction in symptoms and massive improvement in function? It has to happen. It's automatic.
Right.
What I've done for you, this evaluation, who's done that for you? The magical lady with the neuropathy? They're just doing treatments to you. No one's identifying shit. An evaluation is how you determine what tissue's in distress. And there has to be a physical presentation of it. You can't just say it and that makes it true. That's dog shit. If that's true, then you could go to the plumber and say, what do you think's causing my pain? And whatever, oh, well, okay, I guess that's the answer because you said so. I don't care. I don't care if the Queen of England came here and said you have neuropathy. She best be presenting the information to show it to me, or I don't care what the Queen of England says. I don't care if God comes down.
Yeah, it's almost as if they give a diagnostic without having any answer or
That's right.
proof to
That's
what
right.
they're saying. It just is, it's
It's
ridiculous.
perversity, my friend. It's lunacy. It's the bizarro world.
It is.
And as long as they keep getting paid, they have no intention of stopping this crap.
No, I mean, everything in this country is based on the money game. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, here's my premise. You want to screw somebody for their car, you want to screw somebody for their television, I'm all good with that. Don't fuck with people's health.
Right.
Never screw with someone's health.
Yeah.
I will come after you. I am going to come after you. I find out you're hurting someone, you don't take people's health away. They only get one shot at that.
Yep.
And that's why I get so angry. That's why I'm the crazy bastard I am. Because this is personal for me. I treated way too many suicidal people. Hundreds. Literally came to me, stood 2 feet in front of me and said, I'm putting a bullet in my head tomorrow if you don't fix my pain. You're my last resort. I cannot live another day on earth like this. That is a sobering situation to find yourself in. And you will come to attention and you will figure out what has to be done, or else that person's blood on your hands. And I couldn't be that guy. There's just no way I could walk away from that.
Yeah, that chronic pain gets to a point where exactly what you're saying is true.
It's scary, man. I've been doing this damn near 3 decades now. I've seen thousands of people. I've seen it all. There's very little I haven't seen anymore. And I just want this to be available to people. I think everyone has a right to know this exists, to know they can utilize it, apply it, and be out of pain and have the life they choose. That's all I want.
Yeah, I don't know anyone, and I'm an old creature by now. I don't know anyone of my contemporaries that have had back surgery that have been better off because of it.
Nobody benefits. The
No one.
failure rate's something like 70, 80%.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's insane.
And it's multiple surgeries.
Yeah. That's well, as long as you're willing to take it. Whatever you want.
Yeah, okay.
All right, yeah, try your last set. Try one more set, man.
Okay.
Are we voting after that? Alan,
Yeah.
are we voting after that?
You gotta turn the camera so I can see you again. Don't forget.
Wait, I need my phone.
Yeah.
Don't forget to turn the camera so I can see you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to reposition that in the door.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Can you see?
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead. That's it right there. That's fine.
Okay.
Start with your feet together. You're holding on to something. Go ahead.
Yep.
Shift and back. Good. 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 One more. Nice job. So make sure you don't keep, as it gets easier, don't increase that range. That distance you're bringing your foot out always remains the same. That never changes. That looked good. You felt that on the right, that area again, pretty good?
Yeah, it felt good.
So what you'll be asking yourself is, could I do an 11th or 12th? Or could I do 15 or 16? That's what you're always going to be asking yourself.
And I do this each day.
No, 3 days a week. Monday,
3 days
Wednesday,
a week.
Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
And I do 3 sets of 10.
10 repetitions with a minute rest in between each set.
Okay, 3 sets of 10, a minute rest to let the lactic acid.
Yep.
Okay.
Now just go try walking around and see if it feels like you have to side bend to the right quite as much. See if you feel a difference now.
Okay, and the last person I went to saw the imbalance in my pelvis, that it wasn't, parallel to the ground.
Yeah.
So they recommended a heel insert to help relieve the pain I was going through. Should I pull that insert out?
Yes.
Okay.
How is that magically making the muscles that are responsible for keeping your pelvis level? How is that making it stronger?
He didn't say that it was. It was just that I had a trip planned to go to France with my wife.
Right.
And I was doing everything that I could not to cancel on the trip.
Yeah.
And so basically, the one that helped me the most with the whatever I was going through, didn't correct anything,
Yeah.
but was the acupuncturist. For whatever reason, and my leg felt inflamed from the hip to the ankle.
Yeah.
And it was so weak that I could barely shift my weight without stumbling.
Yeah.
So it allowed me to go to France, and that's why,
good. All right.
Yeah.
Try walking around and see if it feels like you don't have to shift as much to the right now. See if that hip supporting you a little better. I mean, from what I can see, it looks like you're not side bending to the right quite as much.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I had this is going on 3 months. It's probably into the 4th month, and I did have a day of I felt like 90% better. But it was only for one day.
Yeah.
And the thing is the confidence of being able to put weight on that side.
Yeah.
And this will give me, I mean, the more
I guarantee you.
Just the little bit we did, I feel a little more confident than before the Zoom call started.
Good. All right, now I'm going to just take the same thing. I'm going to put it around the leg of my chair.
Okay.
Now I got my foot through it. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm going to slowly extend my knee, but I'm keeping my foot low to the ground. So my knee is kind of going down as I straighten my knee, and I stop just short of fully straightened, and then I
Right.
come back. Go out, running my foot along the floor until I come just short of straightening my knee, and then I go back. So this is gonna work your quad now. All right, so
Okay.
make sure that as you're extending that knee, you're keeping your foot low to the ground. That stops the band from running up your leg.
Okay.
That's kind of straightforward-ish.
And should each exercise use the same band?
No, everything is based on that exertion level of 8. You might be able to use a heavier band for this exercise.
Yeah, because with the well, I'll do it with this, just to get the movement
Okay.
is as important as
Okay.
okay.
Do you have it connected to the left leg or the right leg?
To the left leg of the chair.
Well, it's got to be the right leg of the chair so that it's
Okay.
you're pulling straight out.
Oh, okay.
You want to have the line of the way you're kicking should be in the exact same line as the pull of the band. Don't let your foot come up. That stayed good though. That was good. Yeah, keep going. That looks good. Good. So you want to feel your front thigh working.
Yeah, I'll have to get the flat band like you have because this is round and it's naturally gonna roll up.
Yeah, yeah. So just go to
There's a
Target or Walmart. They all sell the flat bands. And it usually comes in a box or a pack of 3, which is good.
uh-huh.
But you can feel your quad working a little bit, right? Your front thigh?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. Do one more and then rest. Good. Okay. Just relax. I'll be right back. Hang on 1 second.
I thought I had abandoned the door again.
Are you still on?
Yeah,
What's wrong in there? What is that, black and white?
that's his chair in his room.
Oh, are we gonna vote or should I just go myself? You're gonna be on for about another hour or so with him?
No, yeah, no.
How long do you think?
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but you do because you're on with him. So what is it? A certain session? Is it 3 hours? Is it,
I don't know. Yes, I don't know.
what's he doing with you?
I'm doing exercises.
Oh, so he has more exercises and you walked away. That's what it is.
Well, maybe I go to the bathroom.
No, what I'm saying is he has more to do with you.
I don't know.
Can he cure that?
Yeah, this is the way to go.
No, that.
What?
Uh,
Well,
I don't-
you're
I don't
asking
know.
questions.
Who taught you that? Can he cure that?
No.
Okay, sorry about that. I had to feed my daughter. Okay, go ahead. Try another set now.
Okay, I did another set.
Oh,
but
good. Okay, perfect. Okay, great.
I'm on the third set.
Excellent. Okay,
the
good.
third movement. You know, I
Good.
didn't want to.
Yeah, that's great. Keep going. I put the camera down so I can see when you're gonna do it.
Okay, I'm on the fourth rep of the third set.
Oh, okay, good.
Yep. And I can feel it in the quad.
Good.
And slow is better than fast, right?
It's got to be controlled. You don't want to jerk it or anything.
Right.
Just a continuous motion. That's all you're trying to create.
Oh, okay. Okay, this is 10.
Good. All right. That's
Okay.
that. Now stand up and walk around and you'll see. It feels like that leg's going to be able to support you better.
Yeah, it's you know, that's what chronic pain does. Takes away your confidence.
Of course. No doubt about it. It's terrible.
Especially for someone who doesn't want to fall down, you know.
Yeah.
Fall down and break your hip, and that's history.
Right. How does it feel?
I'm much more confident in the leg in just this little bit.
Yeah, you don't seem to be side bending to the right anywhere near as bad now.
Yeah, you know, it's I guess with me or with anyone, it's basically you start to repel from the pain, and then you're not
course, yeah.
using the muscle anymore.
Yeah.
It's
It's not
forcing
you,
it.
it's your brain. Your brain is trying to make things easy. Your brain's always going to make you not have pain. It's going to try to
Right.
do the activity, even if it has to compensate. It says, I don't worry. I can't worry right now what the compensation is going to bring. Right now, I just got to try to let you be able to do what you want to do.
Right.
That's why everyone ends up in trouble.
Right. Yeah, that's why you know, when I saw your thing about crutches and canes and wheelers and all that,
Yeah,
I mean, it's totally a big business.
no
It's
doubt about it. It's all business. All business, man. It's all a game to them.
I know.
They wouldn't give a shit if you live or die or are happy or not.
Yeah.
They don't care.
When
I-
when my mother passed away and we went to clean out her apartment,
Yeah.
I could have opened up a pharmacy.
Oh, God, I'm sure of that.
Yep.
So sick. All right, so now it's at knee height in the
Okay.
door, and it's in the back of my knee. I'm gonna
Okay.
bend down. I'm gonna make sure that the left leg, I want to make sure that my knee stays over my ankle. I don't want my knee coming forward. But I'm gonna be bent down and you're gonna see my shoulders drop and I'm holding on. My lower leg is parallel to the ground. My toes are
Mhm.
pointing forward. My knee is pointing towards the door, and I'm just kicking behind me.
Okay,
And I'm keeping my heel at my knee height through the whole motion. Okay?
okay, so the bottom part of your leg is basically parallel to the floor.
Correct.
Okay,
You think about you kicking someone behind you. That's what you're trying to do.
oh yeah. Like a mule.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'll be here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Al,
Okay.
because I know you won't go out afterwards.
Good.
Can you see?
Yep. There you go. Good.
Bye.
See you later.
Looks good, man. Good. Excellent. So again, you might need to use a thicker band. You figure out what, and again, you're always looking to get that exertional level of 8 until it becomes an exertional level of 5. In this case, you might not want to move away from the door. You might want to just make the loop smaller by 2 inches.
Right, right.
But that technique looks great. You're fine. Looks really good.
And question.
Yeah.
My muscles throughout my history have always knotted up. Is that lack of water?
No, it's lack of force output. And what happens is the body thinks you're going to tear the muscle. So instead of allowing it to tear, it takes the water that's in the muscle that acts as a lubricant and converts it to Elmer's glue. So it binds the fiber up, and in binding the fiber up, it can create its optimal force, which would prevent it from tearing. So straining is the body's attempt to prevent against tearing, right? So as long as you keep having force outputs less than the force requirements of your activity, you're going to keep straining your muscles. You're going to keep knotting. Once you develop enough strength in all the appropriate muscles, the body doesn't think you're going to tear anymore, and it doesn't have to convert the fluid to Elmer's glue, and you're good to go.
Wow, cool. Cool.
There's so
Yeah.
much false bullshit out there. It's unbelievable.
I know, it's amazing.
And you have to understand that anything I'm telling you, I made this up.
I know that. That's
Anywhere
why
on the planet, on any book about what is straining, what is knotting, and you'll never get what I just told you. I came to that theoretical basis based on empirical data as I was treating people.
yeah, that's why I went to you in the first place, and that's why I came back 15 years later, you know.
You want to hear a crazy story, man?
What?
The youngest girl I ever treated, 5.
Wow.
She was told she had juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, even more sick shit. So there's no diagnostic mechanism, no blood test, no X-ray, no MRI. The diagnosis is made because kids shouldn't have pain in joints. So if a kid has pain in the joints, they have juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. It's just that simple. And so all they'll do is they'll give them cortisone shots. So I've been treating a grandfather. So the parents came to me and I treated her and I got her better. About 4 months ago, I get an email from her father, Chris. And Chris says, I don't know if you're ever going to remember me, but you treated my father-in-law and you treated my daughter, Grace, and she's having problems again, and she's tried therapy, and they're telling her she needs surgery, and I told her to reach out to you, and she was like, "He's never gonna remember me." So I'm doing it for her. Would you mind
Wow.
contacting her and finding out what's going on? And by the way, she's 20. It was 15 years later. I freaked when I heard this. And I've been treating her. She's now pain free again, fully. Jogging 3 miles, everything she wanted, she's got now. She went to a therapy place. 5 therapists said she needed surgery, municipal surgery. And the amazing thing was, the thing that got me so emotional was when I saw her for the first time on the Zoom session, it was the same face as the 5
Wow. Beautiful story.
It was
Yeah,
so
no, it's
powerful.
no, I mean, you can't put a number on what that feels like. When I was living out in California, I was coaching basketball for this little park, non-competitive co-ed league. There was a girl on the team that if someone looked at her, she would start to cry,
Oh,
and at the end of the season, the mother came over to me and said, "You have done more for her
oh,
than
that's
all
awesome.
of the psychiatrists and psychologists."
Oh,
I
that's
still get teary
yeah.
from, and because that is there's no number what that feels like. It's just amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's there's nothing better, and you wonder why people don't put out to get that feeling. It's almost like
Because the world
maniacal.
creates the environment that says that money is the essence of everything. You're the great person if you make a lot of money.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would, I don't, you couldn't put a dollar's value on all the people I've helped whose lives I've changed. And you want to hear something crazy? You just contacted me. I just today got another contact from a lady that said that I drove from Jupiter, Florida to Boca for you to treat my husband, and he was scheduled for surgery. What you did was miraculous. Now, I closed in 2012. So we're talking a decade later. And now she's having problems and her daughter is having problems. And she wants me to address them. She wants to know if I can do them through Zoom, which is no problem. These are, when I get these, when you're alone and when you're a visionary, you're alone. You're
Right.
just alone. You can't have friends like everybody else. You can't have normal life. You're not going to be that person. And at some point, you have to.
No, because you're the odd man out.
Right. And you got to say, this is your destiny, and that's okay.
Right.
It's okay that you're doing something different. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Relish it, embrace it, and fully enjoy it. And so when these things happen, it's incredible. It reinforces the fact that you were chosen for this. There's a reason you were the chosen one to be given this information. So embrace it, believe in it, and don't worry when tough times come. At the end, you're going to see the great payoff. And you've already seen the great payoff. I've treated thousands of people and given them their lives back. So
No, that's feelings that have no price. I mean,
absolutely.
it's this society is so fucked up. I'm a
It's
flower
crazy,
child from
man.
the '60s, and I just I never had a career, and I never because I wasn't striving for those things, and I was also the odd man out.
Right.
And if I saw someone in a company mistreated, I resigned from a company because a guy in the warehouse was mistreated.
Wow, that's good.
So I couldn't work. How could you give of
Right.
yourself when you see that? It's
Yeah,
impossible.
I
For
agree.
me, a lot of
Yeah,
people,
try another set.
it's very possible. Let me put the camera down.
Good. That's far enough back. Don't go any further than where you're going. That's fine. That's it. Yep. You don't want to ever feel like you're arching your back as you're going back. You're stopping before that. That looks good. Good. Yeah, just take a rest 1 sec. I'm just gonna make sure my daughter's okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. Try the last set now.
Okay. And do you only have a place? Do you only Zoom or do you have a place?
So the amazing thing is, I've been floundering for a decade, basically having to do like physical therapy and just doing Zooms. But the Zooms are starting to grow. But I have a friend who's kind of a multi-millionaire guy, and he's kind of a business advisor. And actually, we look like within the next month, I'm opening a new place.
In St. Augustine or further south?
Well, no, Jacksonville. Right off, literally a quarter of a mile off 95.
Nice, nice.
I mean, anyone coming from anywhere, you get on 95, you get off at, I think it's exit 339, which is Phillips Highway. You head north a quarter of a mile, and that's where the office is going to
Good
be.
location. And when you moved out of New York, did you open up a place?
In Boca, yeah.
Oh, you did open that place.
Oh, yeah, I had it for 5 years, I think it is.
Well, I figured there'd be enough unhealthy old Jews down there to support it.
It was health insurance collapsed. It was health insurance completely collapsed. I went in 1997. I was
Right.
making $150 to $300 a session. In 2012, I was making $40 a session.
Right, right. Yeah.
That's what happened. But now what I do, this isn't even within the medical system. This method is a fitness-based system. So there's no insurance, there's no nothing. This is just
Right,
you pay me direct.
right. Yeah, my wife teaches languages, and she also, during COVID, everyone was Zooming, you
Right.
know, and now the kids are starting to come back
Yeah.
physically.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Last set of this, and then I just got to show you one more exercise.
Okay.
So bend your left knee a little bit more. You're standing straight up. Bend the left knee, stick your butt back, and drop your shoulders lower.
Okay.
Keep that left knee bent. The lower you drop your shoulders, the more stable you'll be. Because you're going to want to do more and more resistance.
Let me just,
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Good. The range is good. Your range of motion is good. No complaint. That's good. Perfect. Nice job, man. I think that was 10. Good job.
thanks.
All right, here. The last one's the easiest one.
Okay.
Well, it's the easiest, meaning it's just working your foot, but it could be hard for some people. It might be hard for you.
Yeah, I mean, my ankle, especially as you noticed, my left ankle has never regained the strength.
Yeah, don't worry. That's not. It's not that it hasn't regained strength. It's that you have to be able to weight bear fully on the right side. It's
Right.
not that the left leg's weak. It's that it's taking a load it wasn't designed to take. That'll stop. Trust me, it'll go away. Okay, so look. So I'm sitting up. I got my hip, my knee, and my ankle in one straight plane.
Uh-huh.
My heel is on the floor. No other part of my foot's on the floor.
Okay.
I start with my foot outside the line of my shin, and all I'm doing is like a windshield wiper motion
Uh-huh.
at the ankle. I'm pulling in. I'm pulling across.
Right.
See? Now you'll notice that's not what's happening.
Right.
So the
Right.
knee has to be held in place, and then I just move my ankle. And if you're doing this right, you're going to feel a burning right here. That's the muscle that pulls up as a hook on the ankle and supports the arch.
Oh, okay. I got you.
All right?
You could actually almost physically see it.
Yeah, on me, you could even see it contracting.
Yeah.
You can see the tendon right here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you try that.
I don't know if you'll be able to see me do this unless I do it from the chair.
Yeah, you're going to be sitting in the chair.
But I mean, unless I hook the elastic to the chair.
No. You got to sit 90 degrees to it.
Right. That's why I'm saying you may not be able to see me because my back will be to you.
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I know exactly what you're saying. I'll do the exercise. I don't know how I could maneuver in this little room
Yeah.
where you could see it.
Yeah.
But
All right, just show me without the band. Show me your ankle and show me how you're going to do it.
okay, basically it's the band's gonna be on. I'm
The
gonna be
outside
over
to the
this,
right. Right.
and then I'm just gonna windshield wipe it
Right. Without moving the knee.
without moving the rest of me.
Right. That's it. Yep, that's it. And you're going to have the band around your instep closer to the ankle, farther away from the toes. You don't want it near the balls of the feet. You want it closer towards the ankle. That's where you want the band on your instep.
Right, so closer towards the heel
Correct.
in the
In the
arch.
instep. Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Yeah, that looks like you got it. That should be fun.
Yeah, I'll do that once we hang up.
Yeah, okay. And
3 sets of 10. You can actually feel it without the band.
yeah, probably because it's so
Yeah.
weak.
Because I'm so weak on that side.
Yeah. So just try to do that. And then if you want, you could email me tomorrow afternoon and let me know how you're feeling from everything. But expect to get that video tomorrow from WeTrans. So you're going to download the link onto your hard drive so you have it. You're going to do every time you do your exercises, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. You're going to be doing it, watching yourself doing it on the video.
Okay, and that last exercise, it would be beneficial if I did my left leg also,
You
right?
could do it on that one exercise, you could do on both
Yeah,
sides.
because that's the where the Achilles
Yes,
tore on the
yeah, you
left
could do it on
side.
both sides. Yeah.
Okay,
And then in 24 days, you're gonna get an email that's gonna say, make an appointment for the follow-up, which will roughly be in 28 days. You make it for 28 days.
okay,
4
sounds good.
weeks.
Sounds good.
All
I
right. If you have any
appreciate it.
problems prior to that, don't try to figure anything out yourself. You just email me and I'll help.
No, you spent your life figuring this shit out. Why would I,
Exactly.
what am I?
Everybody thinks they're bothering me. You're not bothering me. This is what I do.
Right. No,
Right.
and, yeah, no, okay. Sounds like a good plan, and, I'll see you, in a few weeks. Well,
Absolutely.
I'll look for the, invite.
Email, yeah. And if you
And
want,
I'll
just
do-
email me like tomorrow afternoon. Just let me know how you felt after today.
Okay, and so, what's today? Tuesday? So I do this Thursday,
Right. Then
Saturday,
Saturday. And then next week you could start with Monday, Wednesday,
and
Friday.
one Monday, Wednesday. Okay, and alternate. Sounds good. Sounds
All
good.
right.
Yeah, stay well. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, man. Keep it up. I think you're gonna do great. You're gonna see good things happen.
Yeah, but
You're
you
gonna
can't.
get there. Now for the first, this is literally day one. For the first time, you actually have a plan, a process that you can use to overcome your symptoms and your dysfunction. That's it. You just haven't had it yet. Now you do. So everything's gonna
Yeah.
be on the upswing.
Yeah,
Going forward.
if I could just walk or even, with
Just
a
trust
normal
me, you're
gait.
gonna get to what you need.
Uh,
Just keep trying to progress those resistances. That's the answer.
Okay, I'm gonna get my ticket to St. Augustine.
Yeah. Oh, no
Okay.
problem, man. I'm all for it.
Okay, sounds
All right.
good.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.